Three people are known to have died in wildfires on the Portuguese island of Madeira. The island, which sits off the northwest coast of Africa, is known as the Pearl of the Atlantic. There it is. The fires are surrounding the island's capital, Funchal. The whole island is extremely busy with tourists at this time of year, but the satellite image there shows you just how serious it's been. So you've got Funchal here. You can see these two bands of smoke drifting off into the Atlantic. But look at the smoke in and around the city of Funchal there. The flames are being fanned by high winds, which are carrying the burning embers across roads and into the suburbs and the surrounding hills. We're told it's a little better today, but lots of smoke and ash in and around the city. The BBC's Sophie Sulehria is on the island of Madeira for a family holiday, and I asked her to tell us what it was like when they arrived.
Yeah, it's been a difficult few days. So on Monday, my family of 6 left for Madeira, but due to high winds, we couldn't land. And after a 12-hour trip around the sky, we were finally diverted back to Gatwick. So we stayed there the night, and then again we tried yesterday. This time we managed to fly to Funchal at around 7:30 p.m. But instantly we knew as soon as we landed that there was a problem. The traffic around the city was at a total standstill, and this was due to the forest fires and the roads being closed both in and out of the city. So after an hour of being in the taxi, we abandoned both the taxi and our luggage and started heading for downtown Funchal, where our apartment is. At this point, it was around 9 o'clock and the streets were completely buzzing with people. Both locals and tourists were hanging around the streets either after they'd been evacuated from their hotels and their houses, or just because they were unable, like us, to get to their destinations. So after an hour of walking, finally, we couldn't go any further due to the plumes of smoke which were filling the city, and we had to give up.
Did you actually feel at risk? Did you think the flames were perhaps closer than they were?
Well, absolutely, because of the high winds that had stopped us flying into the island in the first place. They were pushing the flames towards the city. So once the fires had started moving downwards, people started to instantly feel quite distressed. I mean, the feeling amongst the people on the streets was just panic. People were being sick. So many people were having to cover their mouths because of the smoke inhalation, and quite a few people had started to bed down on the benches which were surrounding the city. We just didn't know what to do. It was just panic.
And what's it like now? Apparently the authorities are saying that the winds are dying down a little bit, but I understand there's still quite a bit of smoke and a bit of ash still in the city? Absolutely.
Today people seem a bit more settled and the fire is more contained. The wind which hit the island in the last couple of days, which was pushing the fire, has died down and things are a bit more settled. Where we are, there's cooler temperatures which are helping the fire efforts, but ash is still falling into the city, smoke's still hanging in the air, the sun isn't able to push through the clouds as yet, and there is that real sort of feeling that things aren't 100% right, if you like. But it's unsurprising because in the early hours of this morning there were over 150 different fires and 7 were deemed completely out of control. We didn't know what we were going to wake up to this morning, or how we were going to get home. Things have started to settle.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to stay and complete the holiday, or are you, like many others there, heading home early?
Do you know, we've actually made the conscious decision to stay and see it out. This is our family holiday and we want to see it through. But there have been a huge amount of people that have told us it's just not worth the risk. A couple of people we met in a hostel last night said, they were going to head back to Russia today. And indeed, my pregnant sister-in-law is still making the decision whether she should be heading home in case anything else like this happens in the next couple of days.
Have you got your luggage back?
We got our luggage back. Surprisingly, the luggage got to the villa before we did. I don't really know how. We had a good taxi driver.
All right. Well, try and enjoy it if you can. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
The BBC's Sophie Sulehria there in Madeira.